Good morning, everybody. Let's do a Throwback Thursday. This one's going to be titled, "There's Never a Cop Around When You Need One." Now, that was something I used to always hear back when I was on patrol, before the city forced me into disability retirement. And I still hear it today from people who know that I'm a retired cop. They're always bitching. There's never a cop around when you need one. Well, there's a lot of reasons for that. First off, let's just look at why they're griping about it, you know. Just because they get burglarized while they're off to work. Well, the cop don't know that your house is going to get burglarized. I mean, if we all had, you know, some kind of special sixth sense and could know that, then we could be there and catch them. Same thing with any other crime, but, you know, it's not like that precog movie where they have a big supercomputer that tells them where crimes are going to be committed, who's going to commit them, and they can just go arrest them before it happens. We're not that advanced yet. I mean, granted, we could psychologically test everybody and figure out who is predetermined to do criminal acts and just lock them up, but people aren't going to go for that. So we're not going to be there until after the fact, usually. I mean, it's very rarely that you get the chance to be on scene before or as the crime is occurring and catch the criminals. Usually it's after the fact. You got to do your investigation and then hunt them down later. So, what's another reason that there's never a cop around when you need them? Well, this is as true today as it was back when I was on the police department. First off, whenever the city or the county is having money problems, first thing they do is put in a hiring freeze on police, fire, and any other city employees that they got. So nobody gets hired, and that hiring freeze can last for several years. So during that period of time, you got people who are retiring because they age out. You got people who are forced into retirement because of injuries, like myself. And then, like today, you got people getting killed practically every week. And then you have the officers who are involved in shootings. Whenever you're involved in a shooting, you're taken off of duty and stuck in the office until the investigation is done. And that investigation can last weeks or months. So let's say you got a small town department. You got a old guy that just retired, everybody gets promoted up. You got an officer gets sent to a call, domestic disturbance call, gets ambushed and killed or injured. Half the rest of the department shows up to the crime scene, they get into a gun battle, they're all put off on administrative duty until the investigation is done. You're now working with half the cops you used to have the day before. And another reason why, a big reason why, you can't get qualified people to apply for the job. I mean, look at it. Who in their right mind would want to take a low-paying job where you have a good chance of being killed, where nobody appreciates what you're doing except your fellow officers, when you can go out and get a safe job paying a lot more where people appreciate you? So you only get people like me who were wanting to serve and wanting to do something good for the public, rather than take a nice, safe, cushy office job somewhere. And then even those who do apply and get hired, you know, quite a few of them get washed out going through the academy. Quite a few quit in their first year or two of probation, depending on how many years probation you got with the department. Because once they get into the job, they realize it's not really what they want to do because of all those things I mentioned before. About it being low pay, crappy hours, people that don't give a shit about you, and people who are always trying to constantly kill you. So that gets you to why there's never a cop around when you need one. Now the flip side to that is everybody always say, well, I always see them at the coffee shop or the 7-Eleven or whatever, getting coffee, getting a smoke, whatever, eating a donut. Well, sure you do. Because most of the time, those guys like myself were at that store taking a crime report. They weren't there on a break, but while they were there on a crime report, they were offered the use of the restroom by the manager and got a cup of coffee, and before they cleared the call and headed back out, they'd grab themselves a quick smoke and finish that cup of coffee off. Because they knew the minute they cleared the call, they were going to have a half a dozen more radio calls sitting there waiting for them to go to. I mean, it got to the point where I cannot tell you how many days or nights, whatever shift I was working, I went without getting any kind of a meal break. I brown bagged it, ate my lunch while I was driving in between radio calls. I'd grab a cup of coffee when I get the call to a 7-Eleven to take a shoplifting report or an armed robbery call. I'd use their restroom when I got a chance. And sometimes you'd have to hold it for several hours. So, all the people who had come out while I'm sitting there loading all my crap back into my patrol unit after finishing the report at the 7-Eleven, that makes some smart-ass remark about why am I sitting there drinking coffee instead of out busting crooks? Well, I would just ignore them. Now, most of the time I'd ignore them. Sometimes if I had a bad day, I'd give them a piece of my money. But most of the time I just ignored them. Because like I said, they're idiots. Always got to make some smart ass remark. And the thing is that besides being at some donut shop or 7-Eleven or whatever, taking a report, grabbing a cup of coffee and using the restroom, along with my night, I was busy making arrests, issuing tickets, and that's the other thing too. Whenever you'd get these people where you'd pull them over to issue them a ticket, and it was like always, how come you always catch me when I do something wrong and give me a ticket, but you're never around to arrest the criminals? Well, it's because I'm busy dealing with idiots like you that don't know how to drive. And I was on my way to a burglary call or whatever. But you just ran the stop sign in front of me and almost caused a wreck. So that's why. That's what would go through my mind usually, but I did not say those to the people. So, anyways, that's kind of a short story as to why there's never a cop around when you need one. We don't got enough. They're all getting injured and killed and retiring. Cities aren't hiring enough. They can't get applicants. And those that are there are too darn busy, running from radio call to radio call. Alrighty. Well, if you liked my little Throwback Thursday, hit the like button, give me some comments, subscribe, and come back for more. And let's shoot this one. Wow, right on through. Uh-oh. I got raindrops on the visor. It was not supposed to rain today. Damn it. We were only supposed to have fog. Blocking the handicap ramp, and I'm handicapped, whether you know it or not. This is my mobility scooter. Okie dokie, that was fun. Little sprinkle on the way.